week, here's what's pissing me off about sports people. First of all, the fact that Michigan is ranked in the top 4 in the college football playoff, even though they have a cheating scandal going on right now. The College Football Playoff Committee said that that's an NCAA thing that they need to figure out, that they can't really put that into their rankings. And, they also have the 111th ranked strength of schedule out of 130 teams in college football, but they're ranked number 3 in college football. Now, if you're thinking this is Spygate, people, this is not Spygate. I don't know if you guys know what's going on with Michigan. What Michigan is doing is they had staffers going to other teams and filming their signals at other games. Not only were they filming sidelines and stealing signs and signals at other games, they were also going and filming other teams that they did not want to see in the college football playoff, and then giving that information to opposing teams in hopes that that team might lose. That happened last year with Tennessee versus South Carolina. South Carolina was a dog shit team last year. Tennessee was undefeated. All of a sudden, Tennessee plays South Carolina. They lose 63-28, I think it was, after losing their starting quarterback. But starting quarterback for South Carolina would barely throw for 200 yards in a single game. All of a sudden, completed over 80% of his passes, 400 yards, 6 touchdowns. That's crazy. It's also kind of wild that the entire South Carolina defense was wearing playbook pads on their arms. The entire defense was. So that's cute. Not only that, but there was a Michigan staffer that was on the sideline for Central Michigan, on the sideline, wearing Central Michigan sideline gear, walking up, rubbing shoulders with all of the coaches, and he's a Michigan staffer. This goes so far beyond just the normal thing, and the fact that the College Football Playoff Committee thinks they're one of the best teams in college football is bullshit. My Huskies should be in there. I'm pissed off. I only got 3 seconds left, so I'm going to say I'm fucking pissed off one more time. Go ahead. Respond. I stopped at 259.59.
There
by
you
the way.
go.
I think I can do it.
You follow the rule. The Michigan thing is, I only have a problem with the fact that they're ranked that high up. Like, if other teams want to follow suit and do the same thing, I don't know. It's one of those things that kind of seems hard to govern as far as just, recording signals. Now, going to other teams and, like, selling them the information, that's a bit much. But recording signals just seems like one of those things that's like, I don't know how you stop that necessarily. But, yeah, they should not be ranked that high up with all this stuff going on and with, like you said, the difficulty of their schedule or lack thereof. It's a joke that we would think that Michigan deserves to be this high up legitimately.
You're getting your staff on the sidelines of opposing teams.
Right.
It's insane. Not to mention, okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to go over the 3-minute limit here. I got 2 more things to say. The 2 biggest losses they have in the last 3 years since 2021. Can anyone name them? Anybody? No?
No.
It's TCU and Georgia. Why is it TCU and Georgia? Because they had no idea they're going to be playing them in the college football playoffs, so they couldn't advance scout them. Okay?
True.
Not to mention, their bowl record is 1-7 under Jim Harbaugh. 1-7. That's another indication. That's a team you can't advance scout. There is a lot going on to the signs and the signals that they have. Are they an uber talented team? Yes. Do they bulldoze people? Yes. Aiden Hutchinson is not blowing up Ohio State offensive linemen because they got signals. That's not happening. But there is an advantage. They are now the 2017 Houston Astros, and they should all die. I said it. Firing squad, actually. I want him shot.
Morgan, Nestor, any response?
Yeah, Yeah, I don't think they should be ranked that high at all. Um, yeah, the magnitude of their cheating is because if you can kind of read those signs from or calls, but paying people to go over there and do some type of recon that's pretty messed up. So yeah, they should see consequences. Um, I don't know. Maybe Malin can help me out here because I saw on Twitter somebody said they deserve the death penalty and that it was
Okay.
worse than SMU in the 80s. So what did SMU do in the 80s?
SMU in the 80s was paying recruits an exorbitant amount of money. And they were basically like an NFL franchise in college until they got caught. Okay.
Jesus.
So Eric Dickerson, who played for the Rams and played for the Colts, he played for MSU. And MSU had a ton of talent, but they were paying for all of their talent. And it was so widespread that when it came out, it was one of the biggest scandals in the 80s. And so what the death penalty is in NCAA, if you guys don't know what the death penalty is, it basically means that you lose your program.
Yeah.
And I think SMU lost their program for 2 years. And then I think for another 4 years, they couldn't even have any scholarship players. And they had a bowl ban for a while. So they got what was called the death penalty.
Hmm.
And so what's going on with Michigan is it just seems like there is a very clinical scheme of cheating. When we talk about stealing signs, it's different than the NFL because the NFL has the helmet system,
Right.
the mic with the microphone and stuff where you could hear. So you don't have that in college. Why they don't, I have no idea. These
Right.
people are making fucking millions of dollars. So they have to have all the signs and everything on the sideline. And you could literally figure out what every sign is if you have people going to stadiums before you play them and videotaping it and getting the tip off to that. So you pretty much know what they're going to do before they do it. So that's a pretty unfair advantage.
Yeah, all this is really just evidence to show that they really need to start putting the earpiece in the helmet. Makes no sense
yeah.
as to why that's not the case.